As we continue on our tour of the Glass Museum, we're going to be next looking at the display from Lennox Crystal. And probably, if you think about glass in Mount Pleasant right now, Lennox Crystal probably is one of the first names that pop up because they still have a showroom here.
Yes, we do, currently, yes.
And it's sort of an outlet, though.
It is an outlet, but it houses stuff that was made 10 years ago.
Oh, is that right?
Yes, there's still glass there that was made at the original Lennox plant.
Okay, and your name and position at the plant?
My name is Leslie Kurtz. I held several positions at the plant. I worked there for 30 years. 26 years was working with the development of machines and the cost savings to basically keep the glass industry, in Mount Pleasant.
The one thing, and talking to people that worked at the glass companies, they worked there a long time. It wasn't something where you worked there 5 years and moved on. People spent their whole life career working at the glass companies.
Once you start working with the glass, you'll find out that it's an art. It's something that people love to do. It's all done by hand. When it's done by hand, it definitely was an achievement at the end of the day to know what you did, that you made a good piece of glass that somebody would be very happy with down the road.
Well, so when you just said a good piece of glass, it does make you think of Crystal because of the quality.
Yes, Bryce Brothers was very good quality for the type of furnaces and the glass melting that they had. In the mid-'70s, the late '70s, Lennox ventured into electric glass melting, continuous furnaces, which they eventually ended up with 3 electric melters, of which made some of the best quality glass in the world. Even though Bryce's was known for their quality, Lennox tried to withstand that and hold that edge in quality. And this particular piece is a drawn stem piece. This piece is blown by hand, gathered by hand, blown by hand, and this stem part is drawn by hand. It's called a drawn stem item. When I first started at the plant, it took 8 people to make this particular piece of glass. When the plant closed in the early 2000s, there was a 2-man shop. It was a machine, automatic machine, making this piece of glass. So we definitely did our job on cost savings there. And this particular piece is very similar to what I just showed you. It's a blown bowl, but the stem is twist, but there's a crimp that was put on the bottom of the bowl with a special tool. You can feel with your fingers, and people like that touch.
Yeah.
But it was set up with a machine that was on a timer and timed it in and crimped it so long, and then they pulled it back, and then they drew it by hand. And the crimp's on the bowl, and the twist is in the stem, and if you would follow this would be a 1 1/4 twist in that stem, and that's what the quality specs called for, 1 1/4 twist. But it was all done by hand. This is the only piece at Lennox that continued to be made by hand. It could not be copied on a machine because of the technique of the crimping and pulling. But this particular piece, which is very similar, which is one of our #2 selling stemware pattern, the C26 line, is again a blown bowl and a drawn stem. But unlike this piece, it was actually pressed on a machine, automatic press and blow machine. The bowl was blown and the stem was pressed on into an injection molding, and then it was actually taken and the cuts were put on to cut out the joint line where the stem presses onto the bowl. And I can show you on this piece here what a pressed stem would look like if we didn't cut the joint out. You can see where there's what they call Marie on the bottom of the stem that meets the bowl. And that is a pressed stem item only. But this is a pressed stem that looks like a drawn stem.
Yeah, it looks a lot different, though.
It looks definitely a lot different, but again, they could be both made on the same high-speed machine, making 4,000 or 5,000 pieces in an 8-hour shift.
Well, it's amazing, though, that it took all those workers in the beginning, and then the technology came in and sort of actually probably made it quicker, and it looks like it's the same type of product, though. I mean, it's pretty amazing.
It is the same product. That was the key. Lennox was known for light-blown, delicate stemware, and especially in the foot design. The design of the foot, most people that press glass have a clunky foot. And I can show you a piece here that we actually pressed completely. This was Lennox's first version of a pressed piece that was completely molded. In other words, this foot and stem was all together, one piece. It wasn't formed or cast. You can see how heavy it is because for the glass to flow, it has to be thick enough for it to flow.
Okay.
The thinner the piece, as thin as what this piece would be here, the foot, you would never be able to press it that thin. So pressing glass usually is thicker than a hand-blown piece.
Because of the mold.
Right.
Okay. Well, very good. I'll tell you.
We also
Anytime.
ventured into very, very, very unique items like Christmas items. We have a little Santa Claus bell. We did articles like that. We did paperweights. We
Well,
did
there's-
numerous product lines.
Well, there's one thing when you look at Lennox crystal, it seems to shine. It seems to have that sparkle, and that little that gold ring around the top of the glass always identifies Lennox to me.
Right.
Okay, I hope you enjoyed the Glass Museum today. I really thought it was interesting, and it is a part of Mount Pleasant history. But these things don't just happen. We have someone with me right now who not only wanted to see the museum happen, she made it a reality. And I know it takes a leader to get all these people and all this displays done, and you are.
A leader, Cassandra Vivian. Thank you.
Well, you are a leader. And I mean, this is something that we've talked about in town for many years. You made it happen, and I admire that.
Thank you very much. It took all of us to do it. But yes, we have it. It is done. It is wonderful. And we need to press forward because these people and the knowledge that they have, we need to create oral histories. We need to record it. We need to save it because it's important.
Well, you know, I've been to museums in the past, and the one thing that I hope everybody takes away from the tour today is that the people that you have here showing the displays, talking about the glass, talking about the tools, they used it. They're very knowledgeable. When you come here, you're not going to have someone just say, yeah, this was the tools. You're going to have someone explain the tools and show how they work. They're going to be able to explain the glass. And so, without a doubt, I think if you come here today, we didn't show a lot of the museum. There's still a lot here to see. But I think if they come here, they'll be impressed with what they've learned. And you should bring the kids. But you brought up a good point. There's still some more things that need to be done, and I think everybody needs to know what it takes to make a museum, and you need some more volunteers and memberships.
We do. We need people to know that this is their museum, and for us to continue to function, we need support. We have 90 members. We need 300 members, and that's not outrageous. It's easily done. And the membership is not expensive, but if we have that many, it will cover all of our utilities and our rent and the basic needs for a year, so we can continue to work. We are open Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday in the in-town shops at 537 West Main Street from 11 to 4. And all the people that you met today are here on different days, and they will be here to fill you full of history about the glass industry in Mount Pleasant.
Couldn't have said it any better. So thanks for watching and listening to Mount Pleasant Up Close.